So friends, today we celebrate the Memorial Day, a day we remember the men and women, the courageous men and women who stood for love unconditional and commitment, steadfast commitment to the values that are bigger than themselves. So today we take some moment to honor these people who were selfless and that made a choice to love unconditionally. Those we remember today represent the fact that love is a choice that we make, and the need to stay committed to the values we signed for. The values we sign up for, the need to stay committed to it. So we recall the sacrifices that accompany the love that these men and women who gave it all for what we today lay claim to as a nation. But it's very interesting to recall that these people did not pick and choose who to fight and die for. They did not pick and choose which affiliations that would guide their commitment. Their commitment and love were founded on their experience of God, whom we all lay claim as our Father, and that they did not hold back anything, even to the point of giving up their lives. So friends, what about us today as we remember these people? For the families of these men and women, I wish to remind you that your loved ones did not pay the price in vain. They allowed themselves to become a people whose individual truth and needs became secondary to the national needs, and thereby expressing love as Christ, our Master, gave us as an example that he died even when we are still sinners. So we pray and rejoice with you, that you may know that their sacrifices are not in vain, that you may be consoled, and that you may be renewed to live in that kind of commitment that they professed in words and in deeds. And for all of us, today becomes a day to take stock and ask ourselves and give ourselves sincere answers to the questions that we pose. But it's important to answer individually and as a community, as a nation, how are we doing with the values that these men and women represented? Ask ourselves that by our affiliations and support for policies, do we promote division or unity? Are we selling out our own truth instead of the truth that our Christian principles and values encourage and teach? Do we encounter people in love or in fear? Are we suspicious of our next door neighbor who doesn't look like us or who do not agree with me or with you? Today is a day to take stock and ask those basic questions in a time that we pose it so many truths. To ask and know ourselves, what truth are we pushing? Is it the truth or my own truth? If it is my own truth, why do we get angry when the other person pushes his or her own truth? But above all, it is important to know that these men and women that we celebrate today represented the truth that is found in the love of God, the love that loves unconditionally, in the commitment that goes to keep the values that puts everyone as one in the God that we all call Father. So today we celebrate these men and women who were brave, courageous, but above all, who are in peace, knowing that they follow their hearts to love unconditionally.